Hello students, this is Dr. Gaurav Agnihotri and today I intend to share with you some memory and learning tips which I believe will help you in your final examinations and your head and neck viva. So students, in anatomy, once you finish head and neck, there are seven mantras regarding the nerve supply of muscles, which you should know. So these mantras, they are very important, and let me now recite these for you. Okay. So the first one is regarding the nerve supply of muscles of face. Okay. So face. All muscles of face are supplied by the facial nerve. So facial nerve is the motor nerve supply of the face, except a muscle which is responsible for elevation of the eyelid, and that muscle is the levator palpebrae superior. Okay, so after face, we come to the extraocular muscles, the muscles which are responsible for moving the eyeball. So we have done this in plus 2 also, but you should refresh yourself. All extraocular muscles are supplied by the oculomotor nerve, except the superior oblique, which is supplied by the fourth nerve, and the lateral rectus, which is supplied by the sixth nerve. So remember this, students. Then we have the muscles of mastication. Now, muscles of mastication are all muscles of mastication are supplied by the anterior division of mandibular nerve, except the medial pterygoid, which is supplied by the main trunk. So the nerve to medial pterygoid also supplies tensor tympani, which is a muscle of the middle ear, and tensor veli palatii, which is a muscle of soft palate. So you should remember this also. So then we have the fourth mantra, that is all muscles of soft palate are supplied by the pharyngeal plexus, except the tensor veli palatii, which is supplied by the nerve to medial pterygoid. After soft palate, we have the pharynx. So all muscles of pharynx are supplied by the pharyngeal plexus, except the muscle which is stylopharyngeus, which is supplied by the ninth nerve or the glossopharyngeal nerve. And then we have the larynx. All muscles of larynx are supplied by the recurrent laryngeal nerve, except the cricothyroid, which is supplied by the external laryngeal nerve. And the seventh, the last but not the least, that is, all muscles of tongue are supplied by the hypoglossal nerve, except the muscle which is palatoglossus, which is supplied by the pharyngeal plexus. So, students, you should know these what I call head and neck mantras by heart. You should memorize them because they are very useful in the viva examinations, and you can impress the examiner by these answers. If you need notes regarding these nerve supply of all these muscles, kindly give me a text at my mobile number 9815542792, and I shall do the needful. But you must know these, the nerve supply of these muscles. Okay. Now, when I told you these mantras, then there I mentioned the word pharyngeal plexus time and again. So you should know what is the pharyngeal plexus. Pharyngeal plexus is a plexus of nerves which lies on a muscle of pharynx, which is called middle constrictor. And how is this plexus formed? This plexus is formed by the pharyngeal branches of ninth, 10th nerve and the pharyngeal branch of superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. So this 10th nerve, pharyngeal branch of 10th nerve is also carrying fibers of cranial accessory nerve. So this pharyngeal plexus, students, is supplying all muscles of soft palate, all muscles of pharynx except the ones which I mentioned to you, and it is also supplying the palatoglossus muscle. So most of the muscles of soft palate, pharynx and the palatoglossus are supplied by this pharyngeal plexus, and you should know about it. Okay. So then, in the final examinations and in the final stage examinations, the examiners also, they have a probe in their hand and they put it in the skull, in the foramen, and they ask which structures pass through it. And out of all the foramina, students, the most important foramina is the oval shaped foramina, which is called foramen ovale, which is lying in the middle cranial fossa. So students, you should remember that four structures are passing through this foramen ovale, and there's a mnemonic for it, for these four structures, that is male. Okay, and but you should never speak this mnemonic in front of the examiner because it leads to a lot of embarrassment. Okay, which structure passes through foramen ovale, and if you say male, it causes embarrassment. So you should never speak the word male. It should always be in your mind. So M stands for mandibular nerve. So when we remember male and the main structure passing through foramen ovale is mandibular nerve. Male, man. Okay, so you should remember like this. So two nerves, one artery and one vein are passing through this foramen. And out of the two nerves, the main nerve is the mandibular nerve. The other nerve is of lesser importance, that is the lesser petrosal nerve. And the artery passing through this foramen is also of lesser importance, that is called accessory meningeal artery. It is not the middle meningeal artery which lies in relation to the pterion on the inside of the skull. A damage bleeding from the middle meningeal artery causes extradural hematoma. But this artery passing through foramen ovale is accessory meningeal artery. So it is not the main artery. And the nerve was lesser petrosal nerve, which was not the main nerve. The main nerve was the mandibular nerve. So structures passing through foramen ovale are M for mandibular nerve, which is the main nerve, A for accessory meningeal artery, which is the artery, L for lesser petrosal nerve, which is the second nerve, and E for emissary vein. Again, a structure of not much significance because emissary veins are many in our body and they are connecting veins inside the skull with those outside the skull. So once again, structures passing through foramen ovale, this can be a pass or fail question in the examination. So four structures pass through foramen ovale: mandibular nerve, accessory meningeal artery, lesser petrosal nerve, and emissary vein. So other foramina are also important, but this foramina is the most important. Okay, students, then another structure in head and neck is the styloid process. It's a long, in the skull, it's a long, slender process lying below the external acoustic meatus and in front of the mastoid process. So this also examiners like to ask, what are the structures attached to the styloid process? So for this, you should remember the mnemonic map of Los Angeles, PGHMH. Okay, so five structures are attached to the styloid process, and these five structures are arranged like the reins of a chariot. And these five structures are attached map of Los Angeles, MAP map, LA Los Angeles. So these five structures are attached. M for medially, A for anteriorly, P for posteriorly, L for laterally, and A for at the apex. So what are the five structures? Each of these structures begin with the word stylo. So the first structure is, now remember, PGHMH. So medially attached structure is stylopharyngeus. Anteriorly attached structure is styloglossus. Posteriorly attached structure is stylohyoid, PGH. Okay. Then we have the two ligaments. Uh, Laterally attached is the stylomandibular ligament, and at the apex is the stylohyoid ligament. PGHMH MAPLA. Okay. So the if you use your mind also, then you can remember, because you see the structures, suppose I say stylopharyngeus. Okay, so where is the pharynx relative to the styloid process? It is on the medial aspect. So stylopharyngeus is attached to the medial aspect of styloid process. Where is the tongue relative to the styloid process? It is anterior. So styloglossus is attached on the anterior aspect of styloid process. Okay. Stylohyoid muscle is attached on the posterior aspect of styloid process, and the stylohyoid ligament is attached to the apex of the styloid process. And on the lateral aspect of styloid process is the stylomandibular ligament. So another interesting thing is that there are three muscles attached to styloid process, namely stylopharyngeus on the medial aspect, styloglossus on the anterior aspect, and stylohyoid posteriorly. Now all these three nerves have got a different nerve supply. Stylopharyngeus, as we did in the mantras also, stylopharyngeus is supplied by the glossopharyngeal nerve. The styloglossus, it has got the word glossus in it, so this muscle is supplied by the 12th cranial nerve, and the stylohyoid muscle is supplied by the facial nerve. The facial nerve leaves the skull through the stylomastoid foramen, and then it supplies the stylohyoid muscle. So these three muscles have got a each of these three muscles has got a different nerve supply. So three muscles and two ligaments are attached to the styloid process medially, anteriorly, posteriorly, laterally, and to the apex like the reins of a chariot. So external examiners and internal examiners like to ask this question. Then regarding development, Okay. Now facial nerve is the nerve of the second arch. So stylohyoid muscle, stylohyoid ligament, and the styloid process, they are derived from the second pharyngeal arch. While the stylopharyngeus muscle is supplied by the glossopharyngeal nerve, and it is a nerve of the third arch. So stylopharyngeus muscle is derived from the third arch. Okay, and the muscle of the tongue, styloglossus, is derived from the occipital myotomes, and then stylomandibular ligament, that is just a thickening of the deep cervical fascia. So students, whatever I have told you is just a small drop in the ocean, but it's a very important drop. Don't miss out on this one. Okay, grasp it, and there is a good likelihood that you will be asked one of these questions in your head and neck viva examinations. In the finals, what happens is there are many bones there, and the students, they have a tendency to pick up the mandible, and then the external examiner has got so many options in front of him or her, but they have got a probe with them, so they try to put it in the foramina, and they ask which structures are passing through them. Then they like to ask the nerve supply of the muscles. Okay, and then the styloid process is also there. So I hope whatever I have talked about today, what I have touched today, I hope one of these questions, it comes to you in your examinations, and I'll be very happy, students, if you correctly answer the question which is asked to you. So till the next time we meet, you kindly keep on studying your anatomy and become good doctors and responsible doctors. And my best wishes are with you. So till the next time we meet, thank you for your time, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye. If there is any query or you want notes from whatever for whatever I'm speaking, from if you want notes from me, kindly just text me at my number 9815542792. If I can help you, definitely I would do that. So thank you once again. Bye bye.